Greetings, mortal. Ready to rock?
The I Am the Storm podcast.
Hold on. Darkness just texted me.
Hello, welcome to episode number 4 of the Eye of the Storm podcast, a Stormable podcast about Blizzard's MOBA, Heroes of the Storm. It is April 9th, and I am one of your hosts, Christian Ballmer, aka Lupen.
And I am your other host, David Hendricks, also known as Yoshi.
Welcome, guys. All right, this is take 2 for those of you that do not know. A little technical difficulties, but we got some people in chat, so we're golden. Welcome. For those of you that have joined us from last week, we have a quick Stormable update. We're actually part of their team now. We decided to go a little collaboration route. They're going to be showcasing some of our podcasts, and we're going to be helping out with the site. And then we also have our stuff up on iTunes right now. So go check it out. It's some really, really cool stuff as far as just getting the podcast up there. I'm pretty psyched.
Yeah. Give us feedback. That's why they've got the review button there.
Mm-hmm.
And let us know what you think.
And here, let me see if I can copy and paste it to those people in chat. Yep, I can get it right here. So you guys can just go ahead and go there, subscribe, check it out. They should be updated that night. As soon as we get done with this one will be up there. So help us out. But moving into our weekly news for the week, hero rotations. We have Raynor, Gazlo, Tyrell, Tyrael, however you like, whatever your fancy is. Falstead, Uther, Abathur, all great heroes. David, which one's your pick of the week?
Definitely Abathur. After just watching and seeing how he's being played, he has a very unique skill set that is unlike anything I've ever seen, and he plays differently into the point where it's like, it's a whole new experience. Like in other games, if you're playing a certain role and playing another role, yeah, there's a difference, but you can still see similarities between it. But in this, with Abathur, he plays unlike everyone else, and it's good to see stuff like this because I like a vast majority of options on how to play certain heroes or how heroes play in individually.
Right.
And it's just good to see this variety.
And I completely agree. He almost deserves his own class, almost like not a support or specialist. He's kind of both.
Yeah. just call him the class name is just Abathur.
Yes. And then you get the Pajamathur off that.
Oh man, Pajamathur, man. Best skin in a...
It's coming. It's on its way. But skins, that moves on to the perfect thing for our next topic of this week. Fel Magic, Illidan, Judgment Uther, Grimskull, Witch Doctor, and then the Blood Raven Malfurion. I know you were psyched about that Blood Raven one, David.
Yeah. Blood Raven Malfurion looks great. It's it's not one of those things that's going to super change the hero, but it looks super sick. And I come from a background of, I don't really, unless it's super outrageously changing the hero, like Pajamathur or anything of that nature.
Right.
I really like subtle changes, like color changes, I love when you just different color palettes on certain people, and seeing this Malfurion skin, it looks really nice. It's very clean, and it's got that nice red, or Blood Raven, I should say.
Yeah, it definitely it's a nice mix up from the ones that they've been releasing so far. One was like a classic WoW set, which I thought was cool too. But yeah, the Blood Raven one just is definitely so unique. And then
for sure.
And I'm pumped for the Judgment Uther. Like I had said the first time, but now this is take 2. I get to say it again. But Judgment Uther, it's really cool. It's just a classic WoW set. I think that's kind of a huge appeal to a lot of WoW players coming into the game. So it's just going to be fun to see what different skin everyone's, running around with. And skins you do have to pay for skins. You have to pay for skins, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, from what I've seen, they cost what $7.50 is what the main number they got to. Some of
Right.
them cost a little more than that, but they start around 750.
Well, yeah, which I mean, we talked about it. I think the second episode. If people are gonna pay
Yeah,
it, I mean, I'm debating on
yeah.
whatever class or hero I end up picking. I'm probably gonna make myself cave a little bit and buy at least one, maybe two skins.
I mean, with me, I'm just saying, Blizzard, take my money. I'm just staring at that rainbow unicorn mount. Like that unicorn mount's what I want. I give it to me, but I
Right.
need to get in the game first. So
Week 4, people, and he's on. He still wants the unicorn mount. But moving on, Stormable news this week. We're doing a little section on them too. Just like I said, we're one big team, one big family now. Uh, one of the guys on there, actually, Brent, released a pretty cool guide. It's quick, short, to the point. I like it. Heroes of the Storm versus League of Legends. It's just an article. Nice comparison. Just for those of you, I didn't play too much League of Legends, so it really is nice to see that. But I will link it in chat too. If not, you guys can more than welcome to check it out at stormable.com. It's pretty interesting. I mean, it's a quick read. And then also, this is an insider source. Um, one of the guys that also writes for Stormable has been working day in and day out on a Abathur guide, and he was a former Dota 2 player, which I guess I forget what class he said it was, or excuse me, hero, but one of his guides is rank still, and he's doing an Abathur guide. And David, you got to I sent that to you, so you got to take a
yeah,
look at that too.
yeah. Looking at that, just the draft of what he had, it is extremely detailed, and you guys definitely have something to look forward to. Like I said, we were just talking earlier about Abathur, and the fact that he's going to have a lot of varied play styles and how to play him.
Hmm.
And like I was just like browsing, and I was like, this is like it talks about different styles of builds you can go, and it's really going to be something that players can just pick up and look and be like, okay, so this is how to run this person. This is how I build them properly to build them to efficiently succeed in the game.
Right. And that's what those guides are really, I guess, the aim for right now is to see those different builds from someone that's played MOBAs and kind of see the basic, I guess, talent choices to take. We don't even know if the game's going to be, they always like to say easy to play, hard to master. Is it going to be hard to
Mm,
master though? I mean, it's so hard to tell right now because there's not that much rank play going on. And
mm-hmm.
but one of the guys that's doing, his name's Jason. He's doing a really good job, at least getting to like the core of what the hero is, and hitting on those big talents and big abilities to look out for.
Definitely, and it's just it's one of those things like the skill cap for this game is gonna it's probably really high. It's gonna be one of those things we talk about all the time. Easy to get into, hard to master,
Yep.
and basically, I feel like Abathur is gonna be near the higher like skill tier of like players as far as being able to like used properly.
Yeah.
Just because he's got so many different mechanics going on, and I feel like he takes a lot more understanding of how this game works to play. I feel like.
Hmm. And you need someone that knows what they're doing to play Abathur, because if you don't, a class, or I keep saying class, a hero that is so different and so just out there, it kind of I wouldn't say throws people off, but it's just it wouldn't be the character class to get into right away. When you were telling me how to play Dota 2, it wasn't. You kind of guided me on good heroes to pick that weren't too
Yeah, yeah,
complicated.
yeah. You normally start with like the carries who are easier to pick up and learn how to farm with, and then
Hmm.
supports who are just they're tanky and don't die. So
Yeah, I don't even know. They say Jim Raynor is usually a pretty good class, which he's one of the people that's free to play this week too. So check him
hmm
out. But other than that, those are the two big things. The Abathur guide should be on the way sometime this week. I know he was working on editing it and then kind of messing around with Photoshop, getting some nice pics in there, making it a little bit more clean cut, because the one he showed me and the one I forwarded to David was very it was just a wall of text, which is the right way to go about it at first, but then obviously, you gotta make it look good.
Yeah, gotta have some flair,
Right. But like I said, more to come. Got a lot of people over on that site working hard to get some guides out, so keep an eye out, keep checking. But that's all we have really for Heroes of the Storm for this week. Unfortunately, there's not too much.
The game's been out for not even a whole month yet, right?
Right.
And the information's gonna be a little slow from time to time, but it's still, there's some things that just need, like, can get coverage, and like I said, working with Stormable is that we're going to be able to talk about their content that they're putting up there. Like that, like we said, like, I'm really excited to see what that Abathur guide is going to look like once it releases, so.
Yeah, me too. I mean, you saw too how much work he's put into that, and he's constantly working on that. But the small little section we had today, normally we do like a strategy, because normally they release more information in 1 week, and we're a little ahead of when we normally do the podcast. But it's like a little personal background. David and I met up in class, and I pitched the idea to him, and we both have different experience with different games. So this kind of, I guess, portion of the episode is just to help the viewers understand that, like, we do have some video game experience, but we're not know-it-alls, and this is just our opinion. So I'll let David kind of start off this little bit of who are you, where are you from, things like that.
Yeah, totally. Well, I'm from Cleveland, Ohio, so that's just like, that's my big city hometown, I guess you could say. I ended up going to Kent State University, which is the class that we met in. We both go to the same school. And as far as like what I do, I plan to work with like college students one day, but we're seeing how that goes. College is a process; it takes its time. But basically, getting more into more of the fun stuff about me is I've been playing video games literally my whole life. It all started back on like the SNES days, back on the SNES days with Final Fantasy VI, Super Mario World. Like, those are two really vivid games that like I remember playing, and I was like, all right, I think I like this video game stuff. I want more. So basically, just the snowball just started rolling from there, and I have a very wide range of games that I play. I mean, back in high school, I used to play like Call of Duty at a competitive level. I was at a point where I could be considered semi-pro at that. That's just a little fun fact about myself.
There you go.
As far as other games I play a little bit of Street Fighter, Dota 2. As you guys know, I absolutely love Dota 2. It's a fantastic game. And I play a lot of the MOBAs that are out now, just because it really gives me just an idea of just like, oh, so this game's like this, this game was like this. As for my history with Blizzard, I did play Diablo 2 as a kid. I remember I was like, oh, this game's fun. I wasn't really big on like PC games then at that time though, but I did play Diablo 2, and then the next Blizzard game I touched, I think, was probably StarCraft 2 or Diablo 3, one or the other. But it was at a similar time, and then Hearthstone, and I was like, ooh, I like this. I like this a lot, and I really I like games that have a very active competitive scene. So that's part of the reason, like, I know last week I talked about how I play Street Fighter. Street Fighter's got a very good competitive scene, and it's one of those things that I really enjoy video games for the competition aspect of it, which is probably the reason why I enjoy Dota so much as well, is that I get to work in a team, I get to compete against another team of 5, and at the end of the day, it's like, all right, I feel good. I just beat someone. I'm better than them, And it's a good, it's a really weird, but it's a good feeling. And like, that's one of the things that I'm not one of those people who's like, I'm gonna cry if I lose anything, because that's definitely not me at all. but that's mainly it. And just the reason why I wanted to be on this podcast is we were just talking in class, and it was like, oh yeah, big Hearthstone, and like it started there, and then I brought up like Heroes of the Storm and stuff, and both of us had this just huge amount of hype for this because, like I said, I'm coming from Dota while he's coming from, you have your WoW PvP,
Right.
and we're just sitting there and just like, you know what? Let's do a podcast on it. Because it was mainly your idea. You wanted it. And I was like, yeah, I'd totally be down for that. Because this is something that, I've always wanted to do a podcast. Always have. I just never knew what to do it on.
Yeah.
And, one day just said, hey, let's just try this. I'm like, yeah, sure. I'm down for that. And as far as, like, what I look forward from this is just, like, I just want to keep doing this because this is fun as far as being able to sit down and just talk about this game. Because this game, like, we don't know what this game is going to be right now, but I have a feeling that Heroes of the Storm is going to be up there as one of the most popular games in the world down the road. Because, yes, it's in a difficult market with all the highly saturated MOBAs and stuff like that, but I feel like it has enough oomph and zest that it stands out from the rest, plus it has the blessing of Blizzard, so...
Mm-hmm. So it has to be good.
Yeah, it's got to be good. I'm very passionate about video games, very passionate about, my education and just what I'm doing with life. So that's just a little bit about me. Or a lot of it, I should say.
Wow, David, you're just pouring it on the table, aren't you? No, I mean, that was good. That's exactly why I wanted to do this. So a little bit about me. I'm born and raised Ohio. I've lived in Toledo, Columbus, and then now I'm up in Kent. Obviously met David in Kent State University, studying the same field, communication. It can kind of go any different way. You asked me what communication, degree does. Good luck. It's really what you make of it, which is what I like about the major for sure. How it's so broad and you can apply it to so many things, but it's only if you apply it to so many things. So, keep that in mind when someone says it's communication major. They might say, I'm a communication major, and what do you want to do with that? And if they don't know, that's cool, but it's usually those people you want to look out for that do know what they want to do, because then they kind of have an upper edge, I would say, just from that standpoint. Anyways, things I've done. Honestly, played video games my entire life. That's what I've done. Back in high school, I started playing WoW. I joined this guild called Deathstalkers. Started doing that for a while. Playing with them, I liked it. I liked the team thing, just like David was saying. I just like playing games with people. I can't play games like Skyrim, or at least I haven't tried New Elder Scrolls Online yet, but like that because I just like playing with people, even if they suck, because then I try to make them better. But I just genuinely like playing with people. I don't think I could ever get into a career or play video games where I'm not playing with people. Hearthstone kind of comes close to that, but even then, I like collaborating with people on things. So as far as like relatable experiences and things I've done, and then I'll go back to WoW. I joined that guild. I ended up joining a guild called Lost Prophets. I was with them out of my 8 years playing WoW, I was with them for probably about 5 years. I hope all of them are doing well. I haven't been able to keep in touch with as much of them. But the one guy that's normally in chat here, Joe, he is he's a very cool guy. I met tons of people. Raided with a dude in Britain. Awesome. Became pretty good friends with our raid leader too, and we just did a bunch of different raids. Probably my favorite expansion, ICC, to be honest with you. Before they split the 10 and 25 man raids into one, I led the 10-man raid and we killed Lich King, and honestly that was probably the best moment I've ever played a game, because we wiped on him for like over 100 times, and finally after like the 5th night of dying to him and just giving him all of our gold and repair bills, we beat him. And I wish I would have recorded that moment, because I was freaking in my room, lights off, parents didn't know I was awake. Here I am trying to lead this raid, and we kill him, and I'm trying my hardest not to just scream through the entire house. Well, it's like 2, 3 in the morning. I had to be up at 5:30 for school. But I never look back on those moments and, regret spending all the time I did playing video games, because I got some great friendships out of it. And like I said, I wish, if they're listening, I truly hope all of them are doing well. I just know that the guild we were aiming for, we were just a bunch of dudes that like meeting up every Tuesday, Wednesday, however many days we wanted to meet up. So that's my experience. And then now I play PvP with one of my good friends from high school, and that's kind of our thing. We've joined a couple of different guilds, met some other people. So that's where I bring that PvP knowledge to the podcast a little bit, because I'm not an expert on it, but I guess I know enough that I could watch, like not arenas, but tournaments, and know somewhat what's going on just based on the PvP changes and things like that. So it's interesting to me. Now, as far as WoW goes, my subscription's canceled at the moment because honestly, I don't feel like playing the game until the expansion comes out. And I have taken a new stance on WoW expansions. I will not read any new content that they post until I get into that game release day, because I want that game to be brand new to me. I don't want to be like waiting, oh my gosh, I can't wait to use this ability, or I just want to go in there with this clean slate and just try it out. So sorry, that was a little side note. But as far as the podcast goes, just like David said, we kind of had we both had this good video game interest, and we kind of we're bouncing some ideas off. He played Dota 2. He introduced me to it a little, and then we brought up Hearthstone. Oh yeah, Hearthstone. And then finally, here's the Storm's coming out. At least the alpha is. So I thought, well, you know what? I like doing this. I like giving my opinion, at least on maybe what's going on, and getting the news to people that would much rather hear our incredibly sexy voices over. But I do. I truly do like. I don't just like it. I love doing this kind of thing. And anyway, subscribe, do anything like that's. That's what I guess we both want, is just for the community to recognize that we're not trying to just be elitist. We're just two genuine dudes talking about something we love, and where we want to go with it. Who knows? I mean, I just like David said, I want to keep doing this. I like what I like. I like doing this a lot, and I would like to keep doing things video game related for the rest of my life. Honestly, if I could make something, like if I could make a living off it, that I'm happy with, I'd be happy with it.
Yeah, totally.
And that just comes down to the community. And we're not asking you guys to give us money in the least bit. We're just asking for support, not to shoot us down because, they don't know what they're talking about. Because sometimes we don't. But that would give you even more of an opportunity to bring up something that we could correct ourselves on. So thank you, to all of those that have listened. And that's pretty much my backstory. David, you want to throw anything in there after my words of inspiration?
Well, you're not going to be playing WoW alone, because that's probably going to be I'm probably going to do it.
What?
I'm going to play my first World of Warcraft experience probably when this new thing comes out. So
oh my gosh. Wow. You just laying it on me during the podcast. This is
you can all look forward to me playing WoW for the first time.
Oh man. Well, I can't wait. I'm glad you get your free level 90 boost, so you get to join us.
Yeah, no, right? No, another thing I was gonna say is I remember I was watching BlizzCon and I was watching the WoW PvP.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. Like, I would get so overwhelmed.
Yeah.
It's so much.
It's even I get overwhelmed. When I say I understand it, I understand when people get like CC'd and people get focused, and that's it. Because to know spell by spell, ability by ability, what they're doing is there's a reason why they have counters at the bottom showing you what they're using on each global cooldown, like what ability they're hitting. But see, after you play WoW and you can do some PvP, you'll know even more.
Yeah, I know, right?
So that's all I have. You got anything else, David?
That's all I got. as far as anything. But if they do want to know more about us, they can follow us on Twitter.
They can.
Oh.
Go ahead. You throw yours out there.
All right, everybody. My name on Twitter is at Davey versus Goliath. That is at Davey versus Goliath. Davie. That's how you spell Davey. There you go.
There you go. I will copy and paste it in chat too. Yay. But yeah, go ahead and check out David. And then mine is at the Lupen, capital T, capital L, with underscore in between. Follow us, support us. We usually have some pretty interesting things to say sometimes, you know.
Oh yeah, nothing but nonsense for me.
Right. And then you can email us personally at heroestormpodcast@gmail.com. That's one S in between there. And then, of course, check out our entire site at stormable.com. Like we were talking about earlier in the podcast, we are releasing some great content. So keep your eye out, especially if you're new to the game. There's some pretty interesting articles, even looking back to the history that previous people have posted that look great. And then as far as the intro goes, thank you to my roommate, Matt Roberts. He went ahead and did that for me. And then also to the Stormable site for getting us this logo. Also, there's a new logo coming too. John, the guy that runs the site, did send it to me, but it's in a Photoshop, and I still have to download Photoshop. So something to look forward to next episode.
Yeah, definitely stuff to look forward to. Probably that Abathur guide might be out by then. You never know.
Yes, hopefully. But all hail the Nexus. We're going with it. David put it in the show notes one time.
All right, we're going with it. All hail the Nexus.
All hail the Nexus. Peace out. Everyone have a wonderful day / night / life.
Whenever you're listening to this, have a wonderful that.
There you go. Peace.
Deuces.